This video will cover simple hacks to help you with the fear of change in the emotional aspect, the physical aspect, and the spiritual. This emotional portion can drain you terribly and affect you spiritually and physically as well. The main part is that we have been given choices. Thank God for that. And we can regain our life back. At the end of the video, you'll feel like this change is not so scary. It's going to be your best friend. There is a very deep and spiritual part in fear of change. I know too well, fear of change can be the hardest thing. But what we have to do is regain our life back. But at the same time, we can say, oh, I'm sick of going to the same place. I'm sick of eating the same food. I'm sick of wearing the same clothes. I'm bored with this. I'm bored with that. So what are you saying? I want change. So in your mind, you're like, I see this, I feel this, it's just not right anymore. I want change, something's not right. But in other situations, because of past traumas and past situation, you feel that vision of something you don't like. So it becomes very scary to change from that, because when you've tried, you end up with a bad outcome. So the more that keeps getting repeated, the more it gets harder to make the change. But the bottom line is we have the choice to change. There's beautiful ways to do it. And the most important part is that the Creator Himself can help us. Now, what I mean by that is that we have choices. Now, if we keep doing the same thing physically and spiritually, we're going to end up the same thing. I don't like this, but I'll expect a miracle. Shem, God, give me something different, but I don't like this, and it's awful and it's bad. Well, if that's the way you think of that in philosophy, then you're wanting a miracle. You're saying to yourself and to the Creator, when you believe in yourself and you believe in the Creator that it can't happen, then it's pretty much going to be that way because that's what you're expecting. But really what you're saying is, I don't want that, because that's a negative bias of it. So we're going to hook into the positive bias and find out what we do want and put the energy, the physical and emotional and spiritual part into it. Otherwise, the body's going to lock up, you work out you're too sore, you're tired, you're worn out, because these are all signs to wake us up that we need to change. And those changes are inevitable to help bring in the new pay. So then what do? We can start. So and say, oh, I can't afford to pay the bills, it's too difficult. But if you look outside, there's such an abundance out there that it's there for our waitings. We don't know our limitations because we keep getting stuck in the limitations of the fear. So if we open up, we can allow it to come in. And it's very, very deep spiritually that when we open up, God, Hashem the Creator, is there waiting to help us. And what I mean by that, if we turn around and see the good, it's like speaking to our Father. Tati, Daddy, whatever you call him, please help me. But if you say, I demand this from you, your first thing as a father, you're going to say, hey, what do you want from me? You expect it from me just because you talk that way? I've always, in your head, you're thinking, I've always got the best for you. But if you're demanding it from me, it's showing me you're not ready. But if you show me how happy you are with things and you're enjoying things, you're like, oh, son, daughter, I'm more than happy to share with you. Let's give you some of this because you're happy with what you got. And I know you appreciate it. If I give you something else, you're just going to discard it and dislike it, you break it, destroy it, whatever it may be. Because you don't think you're ready for it yet. In your mind, you've got to change it around. So by opening it up, and bringing it in a calm, relaxed way, things can change in the most amazing, amazing ways. It's a shift of bias from seeing the darks, the bad, to shift to the bias to the good. So what's happening is we're not going to fight that fear of change. We're not going to take it on at all. We're going to allow it there. We're going to say, okay, over there, fear of change. The new way is focusing on the positive and the good. Because I don't want to get into a contact, a fight, with an evil angel that knows all the tricks. I'm going to go straight to the Creator God Himself and ask for what I want in a positive, calm way and allow it to come in, because then He can deal with all the evil angels that are trying to stop us. Use the system that's available, and the system that I know of and that they share with us is through gratitude and goodness and being open and accepting what is. Because I know they say that this, what we've inherited and what being given, is a good for us and can help us grow to be a better person. And the more that I see the good in what I think is bad, the more that bad starts turning around to being a friend. This is the whole concept, to keep finding the good and more good out of it. And when we take some time out and just start some meditation and just being open to it and bringing ourselves down and calm and slow it down, we can get our head out of being locked into it and trying to analyze it and fix it and work it out, and come back and just zoom out and see what's around there and realize, hey, that fear of change, is that really real? Or do I have options to change the way? You can say, but it didn't work 10 times, 100 times, whatever time it is. But the next time, are we 100% sure that's going to be that way? No. But we know the Creator's there to help us. The Creator wants to see good in us. The Creator wants us to enjoy this world. So the fear of change is not going to fit in that little category. So then the things is that we have the ability to find the good in it. I want to expand a little bit more. God has put us here to enjoy this world. So the fears are to take us away and to upset us, to make look everything bad. But at the same time, these are the most beautiful growth opportunities. Some of us have to go down further and further down the hole that we feel like there's no return to see the goodness because we're not ready for it. But eventually we'll be ready and opened up. That's the point is, when you say it's a long way to climb up, but we have to remember we weren't ready for it then, and it was probably not good for us. We were taught that something right now is good for us. Before it wasn't, and we can't deal with the future. Our job is to deal with right now. And the fear of the change is also, can we get hooked up in what's the outcome going to be? What's going to result? No, just let it go. Focus on being here present right now. We have in mind a vision of what we do want, but we deal with the present right now. Can we deal with the future? Well, that's the future. Can we deal with the past? That's happened. So by dealing with it and focusing on what we do want, and we allow that change to happen and be open to it, right now, I'm going to change my thoughts. I know the Creator can help us. You have to have such certainty, conviction, and to know that you own it. This is what I want. I'm going to own it. Almost like that is so much heavier weight than the fears that now that's going to be dominant. As before, it's the other way around. You're like, oh, maybe yes, maybe no, or no, it's never going to happen. So the fears are so strong. But when we understand how the system works, we turn it around, and that strength is so much there. And the Creator, God Himself, and the body and the mind is like, oh, that's really what you want. This is what you're now open to. Let it come in. And what happens, it can help your health out. It can free up all that stresses. You feel more alive. The pains will slowly move away. Looking at the outcome in such a bright light, it's like, yes, I know it's going to happen. Like 1 + 1 is going to equal 2. There's no other choice. Is it 3? Maybe a half. No, I know it's certain it's going to happen. And the more you see it happen, the more certainty happens. It becomes more trust in yourself. You trust in the Creator, trust in the system. It's so beautiful how it happens. I want to just reiterate and share with you, fear of change is based on an old learnt habit. And the key word is learnt habit. So if we learnt that as a habit based on an emotion experience in the past, well, we can replace it with an emotion and a future event. What I mean future is focusing on that, but we deal with it right now. Because why we say we always deal with it. If you say, oh, in the future it's going to happen, well, you're still pushing it off. We deal with it right now. Right now, I see it coming in. I see all my bills being paid. I see the relationship. I see the job I'm looking for. It's right now. What we're doing is make something that feels untangible, out of reach, more tangible. Are you going to say faking it? No. I'm teaching myself. You can say the old way, the fear is fake. Because we're put here to enjoy this world. If we're put here to enjoy this world, then that must be fake, the fear. But it becomes dominant. And know that it can happen. If it doesn't happen right now, we also know that it's going to happen. And the more that we know it's going to happen, we don't get involved in the timing. We don't get involved in the end results because that's up to a Creator. We just focus on it and we keep our eyes open to possibilities. And will it be exactly the same, exactly how we picture it? No, we're open to it. We know this is roughly the map where we're going. Sometimes it happens so quickly, it's like, whoa, what happened? Because we're so open to it and we're ready for it. And they're ready for that change to come in. And it was so strong that it overrode that fear But what I've found over the time is, okay, I know I have that fear. It's very strong, but I accept it. I'm not going to fight it, and I have to focus on that's there to help me. And I'm going to focus on this. And over time, that fear that's so dominant just like solidifies, just comes down to something little. But then again, it'll pop its head up again, like, oh, it caught me out again. I'm not ready for the full change yet. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to work on it. And keep working on it until I perfect it. And I have to be thankful for this whole process. Thank you that Hashem, God, has given me the opportunity. Thank God that He's given me help on the way through. A lot of stress is made when we try and take it on and try and fix it, work it out ourselves. But if we remain open and know that it's there, and change can be now your best friend, because when I see something that's hard and locked up, that's another opportunity to grow, or the way I was using it before wasn't the best. There are other options out there. I'm going to focus on those other options. I want to thank you very much for staying through to the end. I appreciate it. If you subscribe, I thank you extremely. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love you to join us. And I love reading the comments. Appreciate it. Thank you once again.